anticipate having any, but if we do, where you're stationed right now, this is called the fantail. If we have an emergency, I need everyone to come to the back of the boat or the fantail. Fantail, exactly. Line up right here on the starboard side. There'll be a lot of bells and whistles, and you'll see my crew running around. As long as you are right over here, you'll be safe and sound. The head or the restroom is straight ahead and to the left. Please do not put any of the brown paper towels down the toilet. Only what comes out of you goes into the toilet. That's all. We'll be getting it away here in 5 or 10 minutes. If you have any questions about where you can or cannot go on the ship, all of my crew can assist you in that. The engine room and the berthing areas are off limits, but the rest of the ship is open. Feel free to take as many pictures as you want, video, that sort of thing. So, I'm the commanding officer, Lieutenant Junior Grade Rob Bixler. Welcome aboard. Thank you.
Humphrey was one of the critters from Mexico who was feeding off the Farallones, and the group that typically feeds off the Farallones about 10 miles west. This particular animal and its juvenile are probably from the same group that feed off the Farallones. There's another group that goes from Hawaii, from Maui, to southeast Alaska, and that's the group that I've been working with most of the time, except for Humphrey. But what was interesting is that the feeding sounds from Alaska were the ones that got Humphrey, who's from Mexico, out of the Delta. So we'll see what happens this time. Maybe we'll have the same kind of luck.
This guy is a digital recorder, and it's Bernie's. And what he has recorded on here are some humpback whale feeding calls that I believe are from Alaska. And he's going to be playing them off of this. They're then running to an amplifier that I have from my lab. Got these guys just to kind of monitor levels that are going out, make sure we're getting the signal out. And this guy is running this big box. The amp is running this big box, which is just a transformer for our speaker, which is a high-powered speaker to produce some of these high-intensity calls. So that's pretty much it that we got going here. Earlier we had a hydrophone running in, which is like an underwater microphone essentially. But we gave it to the Washington crew out there, and they're going to be on the Zodiac monitoring the levels that they're getting out there and recording the calls. Maybe if the humpback's going to get the calls back. So, yeah, that's.
And if you did have the hydrophone, it'd be hooked up to what? An oscilloscope?
Yeah, oscilloscope. Just to get an idea of with the hydrophone coming in, if we do know the sensitivity of the hydrophone, since we know that, we can look at the peak-to-peak levels of the sound that are coming in and get an idea for just sort of the ambient levels of noise out there.
We brought on board some more equipment that we're going to be taking downstream with us, which includes we have the satellite tags, we have a VHF tag if we have to use it, and we also brought along a procedure so that we can maybe take a DNA sample from it as well. The crossbow would be if we're trying to get a DNA sample. Shoot a little harpoon out, just get a little tiny plug.